And we're back, everybody. The final series of the day. Day number 1 here at the Nations Cup playoffs. And we got Poland against the USA.
Somebody's got to go home. That's what it comes down to.
Yep.
The final match of the night. We have United States and Poland. United States, I actually bumped into Kier on my way to the restroom, and he was like, hey, man, it was like the 2022 matchup. We started rough, and then we came back. We got this, no problem. So Kier feeling confident with this team. And then Poland, I don't know if you had a chance to talk to them here, but they've been here all day watching the game, soaking it all up.
Yeah, they've been sitting in the back, like watching every single game, like talking drafts and things too. So it was actually pretty cool. But this is, of course, a tough opponent. I honestly also didn't expect that, like, the French would be the first team to be eliminated here. It's kind of crazy when you think about it.
I mean, that's how the cookie crumbles, right? If you're not on your A game or you're just having a bad series or someone just matches up better against you, suddenly you're just out of here. And, the French put up a great fight. And, that's something that you don't say all the time, right? But today they did. They brought in a big fight and they did their best, but they were our first tournament or our first team to go home during this tournament. For tonight, I'm kind of hoping to see some W's from Poland. They were 3-0'd earlier by Germany. They did bring our first chokeall of the tournament, which was pretty awesome to watch. But I need to see some W's from them.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game for sure, especially with how strong the US team was in their series against Sweden earlier. It's going to be a tough one for Poland.
That was our
100%.
only full best of 5, right? We went all the way.
Yeah, I think so. So for Poland, it's really going to be a little bit interesting to see how they're going to do this right now. Are we going to see a couple of cheese strategies, for example? Are they just going to start with a normal draft? They've already been thinking a little about, okay, what can we actually do? They've highlighted to me a few things that they might at some point entertain, but we'll see.
No beans to spill here, Mr. Khaldor. Just little hints.
You never know who's listening.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple of US fans that I know that are sitting in the crowd that would immediately pass that information on, instantly.
I know the answer, yeah.
Big signs like beware of. So
one thing the United States had to deal with is they had a lot of Urel bans against them, from Liam, of course, being very strong with that character, and then Tracer as well. So now that they know that the cat's out of the bag, that's one thing that European teams are keeping an eye out for. I do want to see how their adjustments are. Now, with that being said, Poland's actually taking out Lucio first, and the US has banned Garrosh.
Yeah, Battlefield of Eternity is our first map. So again, the heavy focus on team fights. We might see Vala, we might see Li Ming, who's definitely making a bit of a revival here in this tournament, just in general. So Li Ming, obviously, always strong on this map, so it's not like she disappeared, but she definitely was lower in priority in the last year or so. It's always a little bit difficult to tell because a lot of the tournaments entertain Meta Madness rules, so then you have to look at it with a bit of a different lens. We still have heroes like Genji banned out, a few others, so that opens things up. But Li Ming has a much higher priority than she had over the last 12 months, and it's awesome to see that, since the reset mechanic just allows for so much snowballing during a team fight, and we've seen it now from Lockdown, we've seen it for Ultralisk, for example. But in this case, the first hero, the first damage dealer we're getting is Vala, with that arrow build, of course, an absolute priority on this map.
I mean, to add more to your Li Ming as well, that teleport is so useful, especially when you're able to play with low ping, being able to teleport away from the fights, play a bit safer. We even saw a couple of times where Nubrak's web was unable to land on top of Li Ming, and that was so impressive. I saw it twice this tournament. Hanzo and Stukov will be the second and third pickup for the United States. Hanzo W build, good for clearing up those immortals, poke, etc.
And if you look at the screen, you can actually see that Q is consistently swapping over into an Excel file, and that is what I explained a bit earlier today, that the admins are keeping track of every single hero that was picked and what is still available. So Q is actually checking what is still here, what can we still play. It doesn't really make a big difference for map number 1, obviously. The only thing that you have to keep track on are the pre-banned heroes. But once you're getting into game number 2 and game number 3, it's going to make things much, much easier for them to just have a bit of an idea what's still out there.
I need one of those. Earlier, we were getting low on supports, and I totally forgot Morales was around. I blanked on it. I was like, Lily, we have to pick that, I guess.
I sent you the link.
Yeah, I didn't click the link. Like, what do you want me to say?
Click the link.
I will have to click the link. I will be prepared tomorrow. Because, we're getting to a point where it seems like tanks and supports are the ones that are being choked out the fastest in the series.
Yeah, when tanks are getting choked out, actually, it's kind of fun because all of a sudden you see these Arthur's main tanks come in, and you know that things have gone a little bit off once that you have the Gasol main tank.
It brings me back to 2015, you know?
I know.
It's like, oh, there's Arthas. Where's the Kerrigan combo?
Where's the Envenom? Where's the Envenom level 4? Yeah, I absolutely know what you're talking about. We had Arthur's a couple of times, and every single time I looked at this, I was like, this needs to take place on Haunted Mines with the Kerrigan behind him, and back in the good old days.
Oh, man, Haunted Minds, that's bringing me back. Deckercade and Varian, so we will have some lockdown, hard engages here, followed up into the triangle. This has actually been a mainstay for today's tournament a lot. Any type of tank that has a hard CC that can lock someone down and Deckercade follows it up, that target usually has a hard time struggling away and requires teamwork to get away.
We get Lunara again for the US and Artanis.
Bro, so much Artanis today. I'm a happy camper.
Yeah, tons and tons of Artanis of this. It has been lately been picked up a lot. And I mean, I asked the question already in the first series. Are they going to do it, the Germans, for example, when really the tournament life is on the line? But we have seen him consistently. Mixed success, but still he offers a lot. He's just a damage sponge.
I mean, Dino is currently 2-0 with them, but there has been mixed success compared to older teams. Dino, oh my gosh, I know he's on another team, but when he's playing Artanis,
the swaps?
Man, oh, my eyes. Like it's not swaps to like, I need to make a Hail Mary play. It's swaps like, oh, I've got you pinned. Check me, outplayed. Like, oh, it's beautiful.
He hits them all. It's actually crazy. So, big respect to him for that. But in this one, we're going to see what Liam is actually going to do with this. Battlefield of Eternity is kicking us off. It's, of course, another best of 5. And as explained previously, we are now in the losers bracket, meaning whichever team loses here is out of the tournament and will join the French. Exactly. So only one chance to move on in this tournament bracket and face off against Korea tomorrow. And yeah, who's it going to be? US versus Korea, or is the Polish team causing a massive upset right now? And then advances to play in the next round.
Who do you want secretly? You can be fine here for a second. Who do you want to be against Korea tomorrow?
I mean, I'm going to be blunt. I really, really, really want to see more games with the US team.
Sure.
I really want to see them go up against the Koreans, and I would love some rematches as well against Europe too. So it's just a bit of a mix there that I really, really like. And what
I like diversity here, right?
Yeah. What I like the most about the team, I mean, let's introduce the players first real quickly. For the US team, we got Q now on Hanzo here in game number 1. Madara is playing Lunara. We got Legacy on Stukov. Unaverted is playing Diablo, and Liam on Artanis.
From Poland, they started today and potentially are ending today for us. On the far right, Lofkill on Deckard, Ritsu on Dahaka, Alvarez on Chromie, Aryan on Varian, and Itrax to show us some Vala.
Yeah, to bring a thought back real quickly, the one thing that I really like about the US team, and that was true for Miami, and it is true here as well, and I actually said to Lauber the exact same thing. Once that Sweden was up to 0, I went in and said, guys, you know exactly, they're not going to give up. They just get stronger when they are behind. They have like that strength of mind that is absolutely incredible. It doesn't matter how far ahead you are. If you think that you have an easy game at your hand or an easy series, they're going to punish you 6 ways to Sunday. And it is just mind-blowing to me that tournament after tournament, they're able to do that. It shows that they have a lot of experience. It shows that they are fully aware that if the opponent opens up opportunities for them, they can exploit them, and they can come back no matter how far behind they are.
And I was actually kind of curious how their strategies would evolve from what we saw last year in Miami. And that Stitch's Medivh composition was something that we didn't see from them last year, but we got to see him execute it today perfectly. And one person in particular that I want to shout out, I was a little bit harsh on him, Unaverted, when we were casting him first, because he looked a little bit lost in his first couple of series. But he's warmed up here. After that game number 3 earlier, he's really started to fit his own on this team. And now, if he can keep up the momentum, we can see them earn a W. Now, moving forward, we have our clear, and our camps being grabbed on the bottom side. Alvarez is trying to siege like crazy on that Chromie, but Unaverted dodging out on the Sandblast using Itrax as a wave escape.
Easy grab on the camp as well. So no real aggression now and looks for kills. We have Vala, of course, attempting to get a few arrows connected, so she stacks up on her level 1. Going to be super important with level 7 in particular, once Monster Hunter kicks in. But definitely an interesting series here. The Polish team is also playing a bit slow. They went for the Varian combination, so they have a Chromie behind this too. So it's all about the burst damage, trying to lock a target down with a good taunt, and then put Chromie and Vala into a good spot to drop him quickly here. And they have follow-up stuns too. So you have Deckard Kane, you have Dehaka. I like it. It's straightforward, but it can be insanely dangerous, especially if you catch, for example, Hanzo.
I've been watching a lot of these Artanis builds, and most of the talents stay the same, except for that level 1. We've had Reactive Parry, we've had Immature Opponent. Both have their strengths. Immature Opponent's great for killing structures and immortals. Reactive Parry, good if you're facing a lot of auto attacks and want to stay alive a little bit longer, but we actually have 4 different here. We've been having a lot of shield batteries by the EU teams. Our North American team is actually moving into one of my favorite talents, Shield Surge. When you're lower on HP, you get bigger shields, and bigger is always better.
That's true. That's what she said. So, with level 1, I gotta say for a second, I thought he said immature opponent.
Immature opponent, man.
And I just imagine.
That's when you're playing him.
Yeah,
Because you're all chatting. This trash character,
just slapping a kid around. That's ruthless.
If you know anything about Artanis, he is bold, honorable, and mature to a T.
Really? I thought he was Protoss.
That's fair, actually. You got me there. Mortal phase begins for our team 3 minutes in, and we already have some setup here for the United States. They're trying to peel off their Artanis, but he had to deal with the top lane as that camp was already working on the tower. Finally, they start to go for the race. Meanwhile, Vala and Chromie are dishing out their own damage, and it's going to be a close one here.
Yeah, it definitely is a close one on the halftime show. So both of the teams end up in roughly the same ballpark. It's a bit of a win here for the blue team after all. So the Snates are slightly ahead. Poland, though, starting to make a play, starting to make a move, go for the taunt, some extra damage, but not enough. Unaverted, still in trouble on the other hand. He might not get out of this one. In real danger, and there's the kill. First blood for Poland.
Great pick, realizing Diablo didn't have a cleanse to back up on because Stukov does not have one available. Lock him into the Immortal Spin there. However, United States are taking their time to go ahead and poke Lunara. Pretty solid with that range, and Artanis waiting for the moment to seek in. Now that they know that Chromie is pulled off, Liam goes in first, goes for a swap, tries to pull Orion off to the top left, but Liam taking a beating.
Yeah, successfully swapped himself into 4 players, and that usually doesn't go too well for your hit point pool. Gets out though, so he created some space for the rest of the team to get damage on the Immortal. They take it. Liam is low, runs out of hit points, and dies. There's the drag. Now Valvarus is joining the team. That's 2 kills already for Poland. So yes, the US got the Immortal, but they definitely paid for it.
Yeah, experience looking pretty similar though, and the United States has a chance here to tie it up, even take a lead if they can grab these towers. They're running straight to the top lane to feedline and working on that. And they had Lunara soak the bottom, so this should be A-okay for them, but they need to be a little bit more careful. Poland has brought their A-game here for potentially their last series.
Yeah, they definitely did. And now they have Monster Hunter, which allows Vala to easily chunk this one down. She's sitting on 9 stacks for level 1. And that Immortal didn't do anything. So, yeah, knocked the gate down a bit, but that was about it. And Itrax is still stacking, so he uses the opportunity to use Diablo as a pincushion and goes up to 10 hits now. And once that we're going into Immortal number 2, 3, she is going to get some very serious damage on it. Then on top of that, you have Chromie from distance poke. He's already on 17 stacks on level 1. And here comes the Temporal Loop on level 10 for her.
Yep, full into that W build as you mentioned, having 17 stacks, so looking to find a target and blow it up. Always makes sense if you don't have a way to cleanse it on the opposing team. So that is the case here. Poland, however, has to deal with this aggressive pressure. Cure and Madara decide, you know what, let me just go ahead and push down this fort, and they bring their teammates too. Diablo going for a charge, even dropping down the Fire Stomp. Ridzu goes for a burrow, does dodge out, brings up the tongue too, but finally gets thrown over the wall, and is going to have to try and burrow. Ow, no way. No way. Oh, Kier found him. Oh, good attempt there from him. But
A for effort. A for effort. I like it. So, yeah. A little bit of a panic moment there. Like, what's the closest bush? Tries to get out, and Cure, with a good move, is able to hunt him down and take him apart. So that was the first kill for the US. Well done. But yeah, good move from the Haka too. I like that.
That was a pretty heads-up play from both sides. It just didn't go for Ridzu. 9 and a slight sliver of experience, and 9 about to hit for Poland. Our teams are neck and neck, and that Immortal phase is right around the corner. It's all about the race to level 10 here and trying to pull some advantage away from your opponent.
It's like they're waiting for something.
Something. I just can't quite figure it out.
Countdown. What could it be?
There it is. As they get the Shamans. Bruiser camps will be the name of the game. And actually, if you want, Poland could do an aggressive play here. They have Taunt and the Temporal Loop, right? So they have 2 heroics compared to the United States having 0. If they would like to move in, they can try and go for it. But they're playing passive. They're setting up on the right side of their Immortal.
Yeah, you want to go about Bambi if you can, or for Hans, or take one of the squishies down. Legacy in the back, still with a pleb horse here. It's like he doesn't have a unique or epic mount or anything that he could use instead.
Some kind of lizard.
Yeah, I don't know. Like something that, with a couple of sparkles.
Epic, rare, needed.
Yeah, exactly.
We should talk to someone. I'm sure we could hook him up.
Any of those, exactly. I got some connections.
Dahaka hitting 10 in the bottom lane here, and Artanis also holding the top side. So here goes Varian stepping up. Protection comes out, and Stukov immediately goes for Science. Legacy will lock down with that.
Ooh, but Lunara! Endearing play from Lunara as she comes in and drops Vala, and that's not the only kill. Chromie goes down too, so we have a double kill for the USA, and it seems like the old man is trying to pick a fight with Hanzo. That's usually not going too well for him.
Yeah, I would imagine that wouldn't be the great. Even a laser coming in from the United States, and the kills are starting to pile up.
There's
5 to
no kill
2.
like overkill.
There is no kill like overkill, and things are starting to look a little frustrating here for Poland. Look at the Immortal shield here on the far right. They have done nothing to their Immortal.
Yeah, and Vala, by the way, hasn't dropped a single arrow on a heroic target after in the last like 2 minutes. She's still sitting at 10 here, so has connected nothing. 5 kills to 2, and this would be a big win for the USA. If they get the Immortal with that big of a shield, ooh, you are guaranteed to drop that fort, and you might get more if you can net a kill or 2.
Poland steps up, trying to hold out for these region globes that would typically go to the United States. The United States says, hey, man, if you want them, you can keep them. They decide to clear out the top side instead, get that minion wave to bolster out the push with the Immortal, which I believe is quite wise. Even Artana's coming in. They would love to use this massive shield to get a fort and maybe break a keep wall down.
1 level lead, aiming for level 13, of course, here. Immortal is in, and yep, that's a big one. We're only 9 minutes into the game, so it hasn't really scaled too hard yet, but still that top 4 should stand no chance here. I don't see a way for Poland to hold this. They're gonna, of course, try and burn it down quickly. But what a swap here. Trying to get that one immediately, though. The temporal loop, and Artanis might be in a little bit of trouble. Drops the laser. Atrax runs away from it. Diablo with the engage. Artanis is already down. There's the barbecue play, but Vala gets out.
Wow, great CC from Poland, and they're looking for more on Uninverted. Uninverted finally is able to walk away with the fight, and the Immortal is still pushing forward, but this is now a nice 5v4, and a temporal loop is up in 30 seconds. Poland will focus on the Immortal, clear out that shield, put it into melee form, and then if United States overstay, Chromie start for another chase in 20 seconds. Ooh, they're gonna do it now. Taunt comes in, Chromie brings in the deep breath, and that's another pick.
Yeah, Lunara goes down, doesn't stand a chance there, instant kill, and that's the beauty of these taunt combinations with Varian. If you get the engage, if you get the connect, it's so easy to drop that damage. Chromie just blowing her out of the waters here, and that is the 4th kill for Poland. They're closing the gap in experience, they're going for level 13. And yeah, nicely done by them. They get a camp, obviously down at the bottom of the map. The USA is doing the same thing. 2 forts have now been lost for Poland, but at least they were able to take out the one at the top.
And Chromie finished her Deep Breath quest talent, so now it costs less, and also does it has a lower cooldown as well of 4 seconds, so she's just shelling that like crazy. Following up on top of Varian in her own temporal loop. Things are going to start getting a little bit nutty here for the United States, but it still comes down to those Immortal phases. Can Poland get the correct footing when they move into the next phase?
Yeah, those team fights have been a bit of an issue, especially in the middle there. So with the engages from Diablo and the follow-ups that we saw from Stukov and also Hanzo's arrow, there's a lot of CC that can be dropped by the blue team. But that's what it was going to come down to. Vala still at 12 stacks. Nothing to write home about, honestly, at this point. Still is going to help her a lot with the level 7 talent for any immortal stage that pops up at this point. But just generally speaking, I gotta say, Poland is holding their own here.
Yeah, those picks in the top lane were huge, right? It was 5-2, and now it's 5-4. The experience is starting to close on the gap. The United States now setting up for that Immortal phase. Usually you grab this around the 15-second mark. They grab it at the 17 mark, so they'll start pushing out the bottom lane. And Artanis is actually the one leading the charge here, as Liam is the one that's been setting up a lot of these fights by going in for a swap.
Yeah, still a bit of a leading experience. Shouldn't lead to a talent advantage, though, and that's kind of important. So now everybody is just trying to posture around the middle. Chromie picking up her next talent already. But this is a bit of an opportunity for Poland. If they can win this, Immortals would be great. But the first thing that happens is that Madara comes in, starts to drop some damage over time onto the Immortal, and is absolutely willing to slowly poke that out. Hanzo will try to find the angle here to also chunk down some hit points, whereas the Haka still deals with the side lane. That's, of course, an advantage of Poland. They have a global that they can use to slow these lanes down a bit or push them out, depending on what the objective here is. But there is Poland, finally utilizing Chromie a little bit, getting an arrow connected with Vala as well, so they're doing some damage, but the team fight is what's really going to matter here. This is an opportunity for Poland, but they can also not drag it out too long, because by now the USA is on level 15.
Honestly, this poke from Chromie is a little bit more deadly than I thought it would be. This deep breath constantly hitting the Immortals got to chunk down actually more than what we've seen from the United States, especially with Hanzo considering him hitting those angles. The one thing I would probably criticize a little bit here from Poland is I would like for them to try and get more eyes on Hanzo and eat those shots because they have a Decker Cane. Meanwhile, though, they go for a rotation on this bottom lane as Liam's all by himself. There's a taunt, there's a CC, and Liam is having a hard time getting those auto attacks in. He doesn't have a chance to get a shield up.
Yeah, Atanas is down. Atanas is gone. The arrow didn't connect, so now we have the lightning breath also used but unaverted. They're trying to chase him down. Nicely done. Good damage from Chromie. Might be a second kill for the Polish team. Lunara trying to make a play for Vala, but that hasn't worked either. So all of a sudden, Poland having momentum here. Dibbles back to business, losing his souls, but this is huge for the red team.
Yeah, look at that. Halftime show for them. A substantial lead on the Immortal phase. Diablo is back thanks to his souls. Artanis, however, not for 5 seconds. He does have a laser, so the moment he spawns, he can help out in the fight. Poland taking the opportunity to chunk what they can. Cure just letting arrows fly, but they're barely getting the damage in.
Yeah, Varian gets attacked, yeah, but he turns it once again, and this time there's no hit points on Diablo. He's dead again. Lord of Terror, my ass. He's going down like a kitten. Varian also eliminated. 6 kills to 7. 16 is in the hands of the United States. They have the talent advantage to swap against Vala. Can the blue team turn it?
I think Liam actually just said Vala. What a nice guy. Now the Immortal gets focused down, and Poland will take it away.
They engaged the arrow. The arrow cancelled the strafe. Well, that might have been a kill. Vala falling, and Laverkan was trying to save her ties too. The big int, no.
Sometimes when you have a number advantage, you're kind of feeling yourself and you go in, and just sadly not what they were looking for. And now Poland, after getting a massive Immortal phase, suddenly can't push with it, and the United States clear this with no issues.
I mean, honestly, that one was just Cure going beast mode.
Yeah.
If, like, with that engage and the arrow being dropped and strafe as a follow-up, that would have been a kill if he immediately stunned her out of strafe. But as is, that aggressive play backfired massively. They win a big Immortal. It's a big opportunity to pull ahead. And what happens? They lose to heroes and they don't get anything done with it. God, that must be frustrating.
Yeah, sometimes you go for the marbles, but you slip instead. And it's just unfortunate there for Poland. Now, everyone is up and ready to go. And with it all said and done...
That doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does.
No, it makes no sense. You go for the marbles.
Yeah, you play marbles, you throw it on the ground, you're trying to go for the hole, but sometimes you step on it and you slip. It happens, man. Just... It's late. Go with it. I don't want to argue. Okay. All right? It works.
All right, honey. We'll talk later.
I'll draw it out later if you want. Experience lead here is for United States, 17.5 to 17. And United States this entire time has had that slight experience lead the entire time, and it's starting to really pay off for them as they're moving towards those 20s.
I still can't believe that this has happened. Just imagine like being the player that it sits next to him. And next to Vala, it's like you just look over and you're like, dude, seriously.
You just like audibly say, oof. That's all you can do at that point, right?
All right.
They know, you
Late,
know.
boys. Next fight. Let's go. Let's make it happen. But yeah, that was a bit of a blow. But they showed in that fight that they can take these battles and that they can really bring the fight to the US.
I mean, it just goes to show like how evenly a lot of these teams are in this tournament, right? Like it literally came down to an arrow connecting in half a second, right?
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Poland came into this particular match as the underdog.
Yeah.
From the beginning coming here, when teams asked me, who do you think takes this? I said, like, the US has a very good chance of taking it because from all the teams that are here, they had to make the least changes to their lineup. So all the other countries, they had to, you know, get players, mix the teams a little bit. Some of them play with a massive amount of damage dealers. Others have a lot of tanks in their supports. So they had to make less adjustments. And it really showed in a lot of the scrims as well. They're super strong here. They obviously won in Miami, so I thought, hey, they're one of the favorites here. Then the amazing series that they played against Sweden, but in this one against Poland, I had them pegged as their massive favorite. And the Polish team, they're just doing so well. Zero respect on that. They're just going for it. I mean, look at Liam. He dies again. That's another kill against Artanis. Poland is just punishing them every step of the way.
They know the weakness of Artanis. If Artanis is unable to pull out his side blades and get off auto attacks, he gets melted. He is every time that he has died, every single time he's had one shield pop up, and that's it. He doesn't have the time to get the cooldown reduction.
Hits come in, arrows are being connected. Arian once again at the front. Vala, though, has to be careful. Same goes also for Diablo, who all of a sudden realizes that he's very much alone here.
Ritsu goes for tongue, hits Hanzo, but Legacy saves it. Ooh, you don't need a cleanse if you got an arm. Nice.
Yeah, another lurking arm comes out. 8 kills to 8, 19. Dropping a bit sooner into the hands of the blue team. Doesn't come with the talent, so it doesn't help them all that much. And it's a race, and they are not going to win that one.
Yeah.
That's an easy one for Vala. It's like, thanks, boys, I'm going to take this.
Okay, now we just need no one to vault forward, and we're good. Immortal phase is going to happen. We're going to have our 5-on-5. It will be in the bottom lane. And one thing I want to talk about, talking to other teams here, everyone kind of mentioned that, yeah, Poland may be the underdog here coming into this tournament, but everyone's like, when they're on, they can be really, really scary. And that's something they're kind of showcasing here.
In Europe, it has been for a long time, no matter what kind of tournament mode we play, you have like your top 3, and then there's a couple of teams that fight for 4th place, and the Polish teams have always been there, and they can be insanely strong on a good day. I just really expected them to struggle a bit more and not showcase such a fantastic game here. They've been, as you pointed out earlier, they've been at the venue for a long time today, they've been sitting in the audience, they've been watching games, they've been playing, and so yeah, they had a long day too, and they are doing such a great job here. It is pretty impressive. And they're going to be the first ones to hit level 20 unless the blue team is now locking a few kills in.
And we wouldn't have been saying that 3 minutes ago, right? Like after a couple of kills, it's just enough. Immortal finally gets over to the keep. It's not going to kill it off, but it is going to do a sizable amount of damage to that keep, bringing it down to a little over half HP. And with 20 is unlocking for our teams, who do you got in terms of Storm? Oh, wait a minute.
I like it. There's the scout, all right.
Oh.
Something's fishy. That's a 3-2-3 pause if I've ever seen one.
Right,
that's a technical play. Kira's like, let me pause real quickly. What's happening over there?
All right, so we'll get through our pause and see what happens here. And luckily, nobody from Poland was scouted in that scenario. So sounds like we have a bit of a mouse issue. Gonna get it fixed up, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, it's the Masquerade curse.
Is that what it is? Is
probably the PC that he's been sitting at, something like that. But yeah, so interesting situation that we have there. Somebody's laying a little bit of a trap. If that works, they're going to take the keep.
And it works. It's brilliant because we haven't seen it from them yet here in this game 1. And gosh, even in our other series, they didn't have any like crazy traps that ever happened. So mixing it up is one thing you can do to really set your opponent off, right?
I mean, the timing also works out perfectly for them. Hanzo is just now scouting, is going to miss that completely. So if they think they're safe and then move in, think, yeah, they're going to be on the camp, of course.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, 1 or 2 heroes get flanked, taunted, and killed. Just imagine Hanzo being the first one to fall, maybe even a follow-up kill. If you lose 1 or 2 heroes here, that keeps gone.
Yeah. You know, you just straight up move in, right? They have Dahaka that can walk up. They can juggle off those turret shots if they need to. It wouldn't be an issue for them to clear it all. If they wanted, they could even sit back and have Chromie just keep sieging it down due to her deep breath every 4 seconds, just chunking and chunking. So let's find out what happens here as we head back into the match.
They're retreating. All right, all that build up for nothing. Wah, wah.
Dig is up.
It would have been cool, though. I would have really liked to see that. I love when teams are trying to be a little bit sneaky with the trap that they're laying.
All right, Mercamp grab. United States hit 20 themselves. In terms of our 20 talents, anything major stepping out to you? We do have the level 20 laser.
Yeah.
Being picked up for Artana, so if he does get a kill, it will reset and move to another.
Acrobat can, of course, also be fantastic.
Arrow!
With
5-man arrow! No!
The choke point of death!
If you are a fan of USA, you should be pogging out your mind right there. That was 3 getting picked up. Kier landing the money shot. The laser trying to chase down Ritsu will be able to walk away. Arya wants to buy time, but that was massive. Now, what exactly do the United States do with it? They run to the top lane, and they're going to use Artanis and his shields to get through and work on the keep.
That escalated quickly. Holy hell, Kier, can you slow down for a second? That kill against Vala earlier, and now this arrow perfectly timed and lined up. That's a keep gone. Fantastic play by the US boys. And now Poland might even lose the game here. I mean, damn. That's 27 seconds for Chromie to be back. This looks like it's lights out in game number 1.
That's just another scenario where you just say, oof, man, all 5 getting landed on. Ritsu gonna try his best here to hold on the backside, but this core is burning quickly, and with no one showing up, Abala for at least 6 more seconds, the core goes down, and the United States, off of a Kier arrow, goes up 1-0 in the series.
Pretty impressive. Really impressive result here in that last fight. I mean, again, Poland, they played great. They played much better than expected, and they always kept it close. But that one choke point arrow just ruined them. Absolutely ruined them.
That is one thing that the United States has. They always have that cure effect. He somehow, some way is able to just go into that beast mode and land a certain heroic...
I heard he's scaling.
Yeah, he scaled, right? That's what he's been doing for years. Why wouldn't he do it in a tournament? And gosh, man, it's funny because like we're building up this like late game 20 on Mortal and it's just over that quickly. Like it's like, oh, like by the time we even said, oh my, 5 arrows, 3 are dead already, right? Like that's just impressive, and you can't teach that. Some players just got it, and Kier does.
Yeah, it's 2 arrows that really stood out, both of them, and with like multiple kills. And yeah, beautiful play for him there. So the United States have gone up 1-0. Poland definitely shown that they're here to fight. Dragonshire is the next map. And yep, that means, what do we still have in regards to globals? Could play the birdie.
Falstead was played
Top
here last
side,
time.
maybe Rexa. Urel is still up. Yeah,
ETC stage dive, which I'm surprised hasn't been worked into this tournament.
You've been talking about Urel a lot also in the case of Liam, so if they don't ban it, maybe even an early pick for them.
It's going to be banned. Like, it was such a pivotal part of strategy in the 2022 matchup in Miami that I just don't see a world where anyone lets it go through, right? Like, Liam, he's comfortable on many heroes, but Urel, it's kind of like Wubby a little bit back in the day. It's just something special, right? It takes over the match.
Yeah, but outside of that, I mean, normally you would go for the globes, but the Haka's already been played, so it's not going to be there. You can still play with Falstead, Mirrodin. I mean, there's a couple of really nice options that they could go for.
Was picked up earlier. That was a backup. That's a pseudo-global itself. It just takes more time and setup.
The one thing that makes me a little bit suspicious is right now that the way that the lobby is set up, we actually have first pick, first ban for the Americans. And that is a little bit of a red flag for me, because normally most teams will go for first pick, first ban, and will let the other team that just won pick the map themselves. So given that I already hinted earlier that they might bust out some kind of cheesy draft and try and throw a curveball, maybe Dragonshire is the map for them to do it. Could be. Could be that I'm reading way too much into this right now, and that all at any second the first pick is getting swapped over, but either way, we'll see what exactly Poland has up their sleeves here, because they know that they are still going in as the underdog. If the first game gave them enough confidence to say, hey, on an eye level, we can still win this, just dodge out on any of these big AoEs and we're going to be fine in team fights, then they might just go for the straight up game. But if they feel that they need to risk something, it could be one of those cheesy drafts that they've been talking about.
I was wondering what it would be on Dragonshire. Like, is a Sergeant Hammer comp considered cheesy? I know, like, Arthas Kerrigan used to be good in, like, between the middle and the bottom lane, but that's, like, an oldie.
I mean, there's a couple of things, like, even going for, like, a Viking play or something. We've seen that a couple of times also in the round robin. But time will tell. We're heading into the draft, so we're going to figure it out in just a second. Maybe they're just going to go for a total stand-up draft and just try and take the US down here. They had a lot of opportunities in the first game. I mean, there were some clear moments where they might have even been able to go for more structures, try and go for one of the keeps, for example. Didn't end up that way, and towards the end, they really got punished there in that choke point. The states are up, but there's the Abathur ban. So, here in Dragonshire, US is immediately getting rid of the Slugger.
Lucio also being banned out here from Poland. I just sympathize with Poland here because, like, you know, you're in a situation where you're like, oh, we're starting to actually do it. We're starting to get that win, and then that 5-man arrow comes in. Like, that would be playing in my head over and over. I would actually be like kind of tilted a little bit. Like, guys, we have to spread out, and that can kind of bleed into your playstyle. But that's why I'm not a professional player, right? Like, I don't have to go through those mental hoops, if you will.
I mean, Poland was just so happy when they qualified in the first place. I've been telling this in, I think, the first series of the day. But Lavekal was, from the beginning, from the start of the qualifiers, he said, I'm going to be in Berlin. I just haven't booked my tickets yet because I hope that I'm going to qualify with the team. And they did. So it was super close. It was, for a long time, looked like Spain was the team to come here. But then Poland was able to win it. There's a Urel ban that we've talked about, so they're not letting it through. Very quick gray main and a Nubarak that we're getting for them. All right.
Good at killing buildings and good at merc camps, which you're going to need on this map, especially on the bottom side. Having 2 giant camps and a night camp to grab, always high priority for our teams. And then if you have the chance to ever peel Grey Man off, whenever you can seek in that night camp on that top side, it can do a lot of work, especially if you can take out a fort.
Yep. And what are we getting for the double pick here for the US? We got Horga now at the top, so with Urel gone, there's Muradin, there's Uther, so they go for the Beard Boys. We got some stuns.
The Beard Boys?
Yeah. Look at that, the majestic beards.
I like Uther's kind of...
Baja is trying to go for one of those. He's not quite there yet, but just give him another 10, 20 years and he's going to look like Muradin.
Hogger's got a beard technically, right? Full beard comp?
It's called fur, not beard. Nice try though. It's like...
Well, I don't know, man. He kind of looks like he might be a humanoid. You never know with Blizzard. Man.
What are you talking about?
He like stands on 2 legs and walks like this. He's like a humanoid, man.
I was about to ask you if you need glasses, but you already have glasses. You need a prescription. There's no beard there.
Animals can be humanoids. It's like a whole thing. That's like what WoW does. Urel is a goat, correct? But she talks like a human. She's a humanoid.
You know, we live in this thing. It's called reality.
Oh my gosh. You gotta get out of esports a little bit and start learning some lore. Okay, get some RP for a couple minutes here and there. Kerosene banned out. Another beer taken away.
Yeah, that's because they hate bald boys. We're not really represented in these communities. It's actually sad.
Such an unfortunate life. Man, the bubble that you live in. Everyone's against they're against bald people all this time.
We can ask Baha, okay? He can confirm it.
He knows the truth. So, our 3rd and 4th pickup here. We need a little bit more wave clear.
Too. I mean, like, he's getting hit from all sides.
What a rough life you guys live. I'm so sorry for that pain.
Rexa and Malfurion. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You just want sympathy. You don't want to argue.
Exactly.
You just want sympathy. Okay. Got it. I don't want to be told I'm wrong. Just say you're sorry. Rexar for top lane. Malfurion to help out with a little bit more CC to keep Greymane alive, too. He needs that healer, man. No sustain.
Yep. And I mean, Rexa at the top lane can definitely help them here. I love Rexa on Dragon Shire, and there was a time when pretty much all of the European teams, especially the Eastern European ones, just played Rexa over and over and over again. It was just so fun. Especially when they played it with Animal Husbandry, and you really had a player that made it into the late game without ever dying, and then it was just this monster.
Is that still a talent? Has that been worked out? I feel like I haven't seen it in forever.
It's just like not really worth it. I might have deleted it. I don't know. I haven't seen that in years. It was always too much of a risk. But that one game where it worked out was awesome.
And Deathwing.
There's Deathwing. All right. Maiev on the other side, though. So you have a lot of tethers. You have, I mean, you have CCs all day, every day. You have Muradin with stuns. You have Uther with stuns. You have Maiev going in with the tether. So there's a lot going on there for the US. If they get that chain going, then whichever hero is hit by it, you can kiss that one goodbye. Malfurion is going to have a tough time keeping those alive.
This is a 4-man rotation, Deathwing, right?
Yeah.
Gives me just in the top side. I like it against the Maiev, right? Play those unstoppable.
Still,
never get tethered.
I think it's going to be a bit rough. If Greymane gets caught, if Malfurion gets caught, I mean, it doesn't really matter who gets caught. How is Malfurion going to keep them alive there? It's going to be really difficult for him.
Yeah. I mean, Nature's Cure makes it a little bit better, right? To get some of that CC, but it is still rough. Most of the time, we've actually been seeing Malfurion struggle a lot in this tournament. The positioning is just really hard with them. You want to try to get those Moonfires in, but you overstep just slightly, and you just get deleted. He doesn't have a health pool at all.
Yeah, exactly. You're super squishy, so whenever they get on you, you are pretty much gone. And there's so many heroes that can do exactly that on the side of the US now, so it's going to be tough. But, well, let's find out if they can pull it off. We have Dragonshire as our 2nd map in the best of 5 series, so the US pulled ahead on Battlefield of Eternity. And we're heading straight in. Over on the left, we have the Americans with Cure on Maiev. That's already terrifying, just to start with. Madara on Cassia, we got Legacy on Uther, Liam on Hogger, and Unaverted with Muradin.
On the other side here, Poland looking for their first victory in the tournament as they have been currently 0-4 of their matches. We have Ritsu on Rexar, Lofgal on Malfurion, Alvirius on Deathring, Arian on a Nubrek, and Itrax playing Greymane.
Yeah, and well, let's see what they're going to pull off here on level 1. We already got stacks for Cassia, so she's going straight for Lightning Fury here. Bit of a brawl about to happen in the middle of the map as usual. Alvarez, thank God, with a good Deathwing skin. That's important.
Oh, does Deathwing have bad skins? I feel like he's just a
Dude,
bad...
have you seen the turkey skin? Haven't we had that conversation already? It is disgusting.
I feel like he's just a badass dragon. Just good in general.
But you can't make him look like a turkey or a chicken. That's disrespectful. We don't do that here.
We have against birds, man.
You don't make a dragon look like a plucked chicken.
Maybe it's Halloween for him, you know? Like, let him live his life. You know what I'm saying? Don't you ever want to put hair on sometimes and just be different?
Hey.
Don't you?
I did once in HGC, I remember that.
It was beautiful. It looked great. And averted here. Trying to look for that flank on the top right, but Poland was actually ready for it. Nubrek comes in with the burrow charge. Unaverted actually tried to use his jump already, and Poland locks him down. Remember, even if you are jumping over a Malfurion root, it will catch you. Kind of like Poison Ivy comes up and just grabs you and brings you back to the ground. And that happened there for Muradin. First kill to Poland.
Yeah, nice opening for them. First blood, so that's going to shut the blue team down a little bit in the early game. That rotation didn't work for them. Camps, of course, still being focused here. One of the main reasons why Hogger is so insanely powerful is also the wave clear that he has and the ability to take camps down by himself, and that's what he's now currently doing on the left side. And he's getting some visitors. Yeah, they sniff that out very quickly and they're just saying hello.
And what's funny is he just keeps spinning, right? He just like he calls to his teammates.
I mean, he can't really do anything there. So it's just like you just give it up. You can't really. You might only be one hero that's trying to fake you out a bit, but just that you have to call others over to help you out, create some opportunities for, let's say, Deathwing to take that shrine at the bottom and just create some pressure here in the middle now.
I think there's too many tanky people here for them to be able to grab this. But they did grab both the shrines. Deathwing is facing off against Cassie on that south side while Giants are pushing in, trying to just hold it down. In the middle lane, though, Uther just continues to keep up those heals, so it's very, very hard for anyone to get in and force this fight. Yeah, I think they're probably going to have to peel off against these Giants. There's no way they get this.
Yeah, they can just threaten it a little bit, but Madara has already taken bot lane. Beautiful, Jin. That one is the best.
It is
one of the best.
I will just say it's a nice skin. It is nice. Yeah.
Very good.
You are right in that regard.
You're wrong in everything else, but you're right in that regard.
Sometimes life be like that, man. Kier comes in, helps with the fan of the knives, and now Veer's getting to a point where it's like, oh my gosh, this dragon can't kill giants, even with that beautiful skin, and he may have to go up in the sky.
I still want an ability for Deathwing to eat stuff.
Oh my gosh, ranged Deathwing is being used here. Look at that. Wow.
He needs to eat things.
Yeah,
like Misha.
Yeah, he gets bigger. It'd be a fun mechanic.
He gets bigger already. He's already big enough.
Just get bigger, man. Take over the entire screen. Deathwing finally clears at that bottom wave.
Are you turning him into a Tamagotchi right now? You want to start him small and then just like he gets bigger and bigger the more he eats?
Could be a fun mechanic.
That would be interesting, I gotta say. But this is like real late game stuff. But interesting thought.
Just walking around, eating the giants.
So what can he eat? Giants or just minions?
I think he should be able to eat all merc camps.
All merc camps?
Yeah, but it would be on a cooldown, right?
Okay.
So that way he can't just like get big.
Ooh,
speaking of getting big, Ritsu getting picked off by the United States, 7-6.
Yeah, that's the first blood for them. So the first kill that they get through. 15 stacks also for Cassia. Ooh, the Stormbolt missing a Nuburak, but Uther, he didn't. So now they got to retreat, and the camp just gets stolen. Kira says, thank you for doing all the hard work here. I'll take that. See you guys later. And there's a Dragon Knight too. Excuse me? They got hit on all fronts right now. They lost the objective, they lost the Siege Giant camp, and they lost the hero. I mean, and all of that happened in like 15 seconds.
That kind of speaks to like how painful it is to lose something in the early game, right? If you lose your Misha, suddenly you don't have your double C going on, you don't have the top lane being watched, and now they can peel off that one member and have a numbers advantage.
But it was also
Dragon.
So well coordinated by the Americans. It was great. Rotation from the top after the shrine was caught down to the middle, then realizing that everybody is accounted for and immediately making that play. So job well done. I mean, it's an early Dragon Knight, of course. They're not going to get that much out of it, but it's going to be plenty. They're pushing down here at the bottom of the map. Dragon Knight is focused towards the top. Bit of a numbers advantage that they can run. Maiev in the middle.
All said and done, though. What is that? One turret, middle wall there. Yeah, it's pretty good there. Look at the experience lead. 9-7. Yeah, 9-8 hitting here. All right, good exchange for the United States, and that keeps the Dragon off the board while they work towards level 10. Huge play for them.
Yeah, exactly. So the early level 10 and the gap that they have here of an entire level should help them to take some structures down if they commit to them. Or even another objective.
It's looking like United States is just slightly faster right now. There was one pick that we had unaverted, but ever since then, the pacing has been set by the United States. But Poland does seem like they're trying to switch it up, but they're just a tad late live kill. And as we talked about it, if Mafirian gets caught once, it's over.
Yeah, we talked about this, exactly. The second they're on him, he's just dead. He doesn't have the hero pool for it, the hit point pool for it. So he got tethered, he got hit by the Stormbolt, and that's just lights out. He just can't survive through that. With level 10, you have maybe a bit more survivability with Tranquility, but just generally, the damage that comes out there is too much for him to handle. So positioning is going to be everything for them.
Containment disc locking down Deathwing. He is stopped and locked in. Tether comes out after a Divine Shield. Kier trying to lock down Greymane. Irex goes in a Darkened Flight and gets off a couple of auto attacks. Liam comes in by the side here, sets up his own combo, and the 4 is being tanked by Madara here. That armor keeping him alive. Finally, the Giants help out. Unaverted will drop the Murden Avatar as well. No kills, but they take a building.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, they pushed everything past that fort, allowed the Siege Giants and the minions to attack it and take it down eventually. You got level 10, of course, with all of it too. But that was the coordination. You get level 10, you make the play, you push the opponent back, you just zone them away from the fort, and that gave them one of the outer structures. And just now Poland starting to pick up their own heroic abilities.
It feels so much later, but they have them. take a big sigh of relief here. Cocoon unleashes the boars. There's a Tranquility. Greymane, what will he go for?
Yeah, and not quite actually. We are getting the Twilight Beam.
Yeah.
So just looking at this and saying, hey, wait a second, if they all jump on me, Tranquility might not do the trick for me, but if they're already going for me, a quick silence might just help my team to get a counter kill.
Wow. We'll see how that unfolds here. They also got that Bellowing Roar, so you can also have like a fear push into you, and they can follow it up into another silence. Could be quite disruptive, but Poland will need to get that coordination. Aryan on the left side, but it's scouted immediately, and the United States back up. They're not giving a Nubrak a chance.
Yeah, they don't. And Cure is just busy across the map. He's helped them with so many small fights just to get those tethers going, to set up a kill for them. And in the meantime, he's going for shrines, he's pushing a few of these lanes out, keeps the experience going, and is always just like diving out. So once again, good position here for him. Deathwing is starting to stop by. There's even a rotation coming on down to the bot lane, but Q are taking no risks whatsoever.
I'm getting a little worried for Aryan. I'm keeping an eye on him, and he's starting to play aggressive, which I do like, but he's starting to stretch himself a little thin. Far from Malfurion, and I know he has a burrow charge that cuts him unstoppable, but if he's not careful, the United States might catch on to that and just take him out, and suddenly Poland won't have a tank.
Yeah, and the one thing that's also always a little bit weird is, I mean, the blue team is just slowing this down because they have the experience gap. So an early level 13 helps them. Here's the hit, there's the tether, and Nubrak is able to make his way out of the fight. Disc was also used. Deathwing back to business. So pretty much what you just called, they weren't able to get the kill, but they're going for exactly that kind of play.
Still, 90% of the health bar gone. Like, that is a big blow to a Nubrak. He's already a squishy bug. So you got to be careful when you're stepping up there. And now Hogger grabs top side. The Shrine is activatable. Poland bringing 4 to the middle to deny that. Unaverted takes a chance to jump in, goes for a Stormbolt, but Aryan's able to get out.
Yeah, Misha here, Beast Mode, doing well. I like it.
This is it for it. Goodbye, Bear. You will be missed. You were a wonderful pet. Atrax and crew still holding this concave on the top right, though.
Yeah, down to the bottom of the map. That's what, of course, but Deathwing made sure that the second Shrine control would be lost for the blue team. The level 13 talent still giving them advantage for another half level until we have Poland with their own level 13 and probably a bit more willing to face off in these fights against them. But at the top, it's still just ring around the rosy play. Q has moved down to the bottom, is going to take control. Top side, Rexa is denying it. 33 stacks for Cassia now, so she's slowly picking them up here. Maybe a tiny bit behind what you normally would want here, but still looking pretty good.
Another containment just comes out to lock down Deathwing. Unaverted holding that front line, and Nubrak trying to help out. There goes the Cocoon. The heals are coming in, but Malfurion being locked down by Liam. Liam taking on a 2-on-2, and finally, Maiev comes in to help out. That will be a Malfurion pick, and Deathwing have to roar out of the team fight. They were able to steal the Giants, but at what cost?
Yeah, Malfurion going down, and they might get a bit more than that, because once again, we have Aaron here at the front with the Nubarak, and he ran straight into a Stormbolt, had the W still up and used the shield, but the tethers are there. Another Stormbolt connects too, and the Nubarak gets murdered. He's down. Deathwing dead as well. 5 kills to 1. The US is doing work. Hogger down at the bottom of the map, going for a camp, so they are again splitting on multiple fronts here on Dragonshire and are pressuring the bottom wall at the keep. Great play by them and absolutely exploiting these advantages that they got through the kill.
They're just stretching Poland as much as they can. I mean, they're like silly putty right now. They pull them out of the fight, they find 1 or 2 that might misstep, and then they jump back in and get the kill. The containment disc has made Deathwing pretty much a non-factor in most of these fights. Every single time it has been reserved for him. And now 16 right around the corner, potentially another dragon as Hogger goes up to grab that Sunshine on the top side. The United States have equipped themselves here to set up for the next phase of the game and potentially set up for the late game.
Yeah, the level 16 talent is going to be rough. There's a camp pushing at the bottom of the map already. If they get the Dragon Knight now and a level 16 talent, they will go for keep here. They might go through the middle, drop the fort first, but they will definitely try to take the keep down. Once again, the disc is out this time on Rexa to attempt at a counter kill. If Poland can get this one, this would be huge. Ult is out, but it is Greymane that falls. Another kill. It's a double Malfurion. He gets dropped again, and now they're chasing a Nubarak. He's trying to dive out, but yeah, he's making it. Deathwing barely surviving. Madara gets a bit damaged, but healed as well by Legacy. And in the meantime, Cure, he moved towards the middle, got the Dragon Knight. They're looking fantastic here. Great game from the United States.
7-1 so far. They took out the fort in the middle, and now they're going to move the dragon to the bottom right and start spitting some fire on top of that keep. You can take the whole duration bar here if you would like. This is an 11-minute Dragon Knight, so it's not the strongest thing in the world, but you do have the timer moving in your favor to start beating up on top of that keep. a 11-minute to 12-minute keep is pretty darn nice to have.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is also all about bot lane control again. You have multiple camps that move through the bottom here, 2 Siege Giant camps, and of course, the Mercenary camp all the way down, the Hard camp, the Bruiser camp. But yeah, right now, this is rough for Poland. There's an opening for the US team at any point when they win a big team fight to go for the core directly, but they can also play the macro game. They eliminated the fort in the middle. They're rotating towards the top. Big lead in experience, 2.5 levels. Stats advantage alone is great. Then you have that extra talent on top of it too. Very difficult for Poland to fight here. Poland has to pretty much just sit tight, wait, soak experience, grab level 16 and throw a Hail Mary.
Yep. This is kind of the after effect of Poland. They were so grouped up in a majority of these fights, even with the Deathwing. They were having too many engages where he went up in the air and they weren't soaking as much. And you're starting to see that pay off in dividends for the United States. Off of that push, they got 2 forts and a keep, and they have catapult pressure in the bottom lane. And you're right. Poland just has to sit and wait. That's all they can do. If you overstep, you're going to get taken out, just like Misha there. That poor bear.
Yeah. That wasn't cool. Just sending him out to scout, you know, like no care in the world. Rexa definitely is not alright. I'm going to call Peter again.
Someone will be upset, that's for sure. That's okay, he'll get a new bear. Yeah, let's pick up another one at the adoption agency. Oh, we'll be well. You even got some boars too. Look at that.
There's an entire zoo that he's running over.
Zoologist over here, man. Okay, 16's here.
Yep, Epicenter is in. Rexa is also doubling again as the worst actor in the universe.
Did he get feigned death?
Yeah,
oh,
he always does.
I always believe it, though. I really do.
That says more about you than it says about Rexa.
Containment disc again. Pulled in as a Nubarak taken to the towers. He's able to walk away. Misha comes in with a charge, fucking down the back line. Now Cassia gets hit with the web on the back left. Dragon Breath connecting, though, but a Nubarak is the one to fall. Misha gets taken out just out of the agency and already dealt with. Deathwing getting low on HP. The chain bomb is spreading. Guys, spread out. Stop helping each other. Okay, they finally do get away unaverted. However, has one Stormbolt, can't hit Greymane, able to move away, but with one member down, the United States plays for the walls.
Yeah, they can play in the middle a little bit more, down to the bottom of the map. Poland already has to defend against mercenary camps that they set en route earlier. Half a level to 29 kills to 1, objective spawning in 14. This is tough. Anubara could not play the video game anymore. He was just like sitting there taking the hands off the keyboard. Like, guys, I can't move. I'm just perma-stunned. So they locked him down hard. No chance, got killed. And then everybody just had to try and retreat here. Yeah, up towards the top, they take control. Liam is still heading back. And they can't get the Dragonite here. But just look at that shield on the right side. So Deathwing is finally taking care of it. Got scratched a little bit. I don't think... they might actually lose a couple of points on the core. Even if it's just like 1 or 2. Nah. Catapult not locked in yet. So only the shield gets scratched. But Deathwing is missing. And they're apparently trying to force the fight here. Disc is out.
Yeah, they got 20. So they just tried to force something. Kier moved up, but slightly too far ahead of his team.
Cassia's stacks are pretty good too. 93. That is not bad given how these fights have gone. So yeah, sitting at 50,000 damage. Easy top damage in the game.
Cassie's one of those characters, man. If you give her the chance, she will just take over the leaderboards and matter of continuing to show his excellence and what he can pull off as a player.
I still remember a game where Dino had 160 stacks. It was absolutely disgusting, the damage output that he had.
All right, Dino versus Mandara for the grand finals. Let's do it.
Let's go. I'm game.
Well, Dragon Knight is here, and their game as well to try and finish this one as they head in towards that core. Now, do note this game has felt pretty long, but we're only 15 minutes into it. This Dragon Knight is definitely something that you can deal with if Poland can get the correct fight.
Yeah, Greymane gets kicked out of the battle. They are definitely going to damage the core a little bit, but can they take the entire thing down? A kill would help the blue team a lot here. Poland trying to throw everything against them. Shield about to be gone. Not a single kill yet, but the core is slowly falling. 80% down to 70. Dragonite retreating, and so is the rest of the team. But Hogger hogging a little bit into the wrong direction. Liam is definitely in trouble here. Gets a stun out and buys the team a bit more time as Alvaro is getting focused. Hogger is dead. Deathwing is still alive. They're trying to take him down though, and they're getting close, but it seems like Legacy might actually bite the bullet here. He's in trouble too. The core's at 64%. Uther down, coming in with the heals. Deathwing denied. 10 kills to 3, and Poland is still 2 levels away from 20, but they're doing everything they can to defend here.
Yeah, Uther had redemption, so now he's back, and all 5 members are up for the United States. The heals were coming in, and now with a couple of catapults, the United States needs to make a decision. Do they go for the W, or do they pull back? And they decide, you know what, let's pull back. Let's not throw this game. We got a nice, beautiful 40% on top of that core, making it easier for us to kill later on. Instead, let's pull back, take away Merc camps, and although these Merc camps might not be able to push in, at least they're taking away experience from the opposing team, as they're still desperately fighting for that 20.
They're so far behind. They're still an entire level behind, and that disconnects with Malfurion. Murden jumping in. Where's that Stormbolt when you need it? Right there, and that's another kill. Malfurion is gone. Bird Boy, goodbye. Another Stormbolt, another stun, and a Nubarak follows a second later, and they are just cleaning house right now. It is ridiculous. The United States, they're on a tear here. 3 kills, and that should just be game. They go in the middle, they take the wall down and rotate to the bottom of the map to help the Siege Giants and the Catapult to end this.
I didn't know Kier was in the Olympics. He was flipping and flipping and flipping in that fight. Finally able to come in for another kill as well. Oh, Rexar died. Oh, no!
Totally believable.
Oh, he was faking! I can't. Wow! At the same time, though, the core is starting to finally take some damage. Deathwing getting chucked down to 10%, and the core will finally be the focus. The United States will go up 2-0 over Poland.
Well done. Big victory. 2-0 lead at this point for the United States. Poland a little bit more shaky in game number 2 than they were in the first map. First map, multiple points where it looked like they might take a keep down, they might get a bit more. It was mainly big plays by QR that denied them huge opportunities that they worked for. Game number 2 though, United States, very clean, very smooth, making good choices here, a lot of kills, and just dominating from start to finish.
I mean, Maiev really put a lot of pressure on Poland. Yes. It started to get to a point where they were afraid to win, right? Like, they were so afraid of losing that they didn't make the plays to go for a W. Deathwing wasn't able to spread out on the side, soak those lanes, and try to keep that experience up, and we saw it all start to falter towards the end. Poland, going into game number 3, man, needs to really pull it together, and I'm sure we will see that right after our quick commercial break here, Khaldor.
Exactly. We're going to get back in a second, and then we're heading into the third game of this series, United States against Poland.
Welcome back to the tournament. We have United States taking on Poland right now, and I gotta be honest with you right now, Poland having a rough time, down 2-0 against the US. They really gotta kick it into gear or they're out.
Yes, they definitely have to. Game number 1 looked still quite strong from their perspective, but on the second one, the United States picked up steam and they looked great here. Game 3, we're heading into Infernal Shrines next, and the draft is about to start any moment. So if Poland has anything up their sleeves, any kind of cheese that they were holding back, which they alluded to once or twice, this is really the moment to throw it out. We're in the loser's bracket. This is your last chance. This is match point number 1 for the Americans.
That's right. We'll see what's going to happen here as we're moving into Infernal Shrines for the Battleground. The only cheese that we've really seen so far from Poland that was drafted earlier was Chogal, which some would even argue is even a type of cheese if you're talking to Bahamut.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how reliable he is as a source of information on that.
He's the expert.
But he's actually not too... I talked with him a little bit about it. He's like, not every draft is a Chogal draft, because I thought it was
improvement. That's growth right there, right? Like, yeah.
It's like, all right.
That's like me and Ragnar. I was like, eventually I was like, maybe 2 maps. You're like, I'm so proud of you. Good job.
These days I've actually spoken in favor of Lava Wave every now and then.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Especially with Garden of Terror, for example, becoming of a staple in some tournaments. So a huge map, some map control, depending on the composition you play, can be a thing.
One day a man can dream. We got one more day. That could still happen. But right now we are focused on this match, and so is Poland and the United States. Sergeant Hammer banned out for the United States. Poland, sticking with that Lucio. They do not like dealing with that character.
Yeah, not at all. And of course, yeah. It's game 3, Chogal gets banned. Yeah, we're not going to deal with this. They definitely watched the last game that Poland played, and it's like, no. Thank you guys, but no thank you.
So does that change the draft here for Poland? They're thinking a little bit here on their second ban. It's been Urel so far. You would think it'd be a lock-in, but sometimes you want to make sure that you use every second possible in the draft. You're thinking of every avenue, checking that Excel sheet. Urel's left open.
Yeah, you have an opponent that gets you to ban Chogal out. It's like, yeah, this is not happening.
You can call that a win, actually, if you're Poland.
Yeah, exactly.
They banned Chogal, guys.
We did it. They fear our Chogal. They respect it so much, they had to ban it out. They didn't know how to deal with it.
The little victories are important, Khaldor, you know?
Yeah, it's small things that count.
I celebrate a clean belly button. They celebrate Chogal. It's all good, right? It's good stuff. It's important.
It's not weird at all.
It's not weird.
What, banning Chogal? I said it's not.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
ETC and Tychus being grabbed here, which is always great on Infernal Shrines. ETC is a bit of a squishy tank compared to most, as I throw my pin across the map. Luckily, no one saw that, and no one heard you laughter. And Tychus, of course, brings that transformation that we've been talking about with Odin.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
We're getting there.
Yeah, Junkrat. So, early Junkrat pick, Infernal Shrines, fantastic. And guess what? It's Urel. Hey, shocking.
Hey.
So, you don't ban her out. You give Liam a chance to pick her, and he is going to thank you for it. White main. It's a solid start. This is looking really good. You got Urel, you got Junkrat, fantastic for Infernal Shrines, sort of poke from the outside. You have the displacement, lock the target down. I like what they're doing here, a lot.
Funny fact, I was playing Urel a couple weeks ago when I was playing Hans, and I pulled up a goat fact, and I searched goat facts, and the website that came up was the one that we used 3 or 4 years ago. It's still the king goat facts website. I'm so proud of them.
Okay, here's my bigger question.
It's just this big pink website with the goat facts.
Are there more than one website that deal with goat?
There are, but this was the #1 on Google, and they are still holding it, and that is something they should be proud of. The little victories, Khaldor.
Why are there more than one website about goat facts?
Because people care. That's why.
These guys have one visitor every single year, and it's you. That's it.
And I read it all.
Analyzing the analytics dashboard, and they're like,
Have they changed the name of the baby goats? Nope, still a Billy. We're good. See you next year, guys. Alex Straza banned out. The United States knows how strong she can be on this map, and they are not taking any chances here. Taking everything away from Poland that they've seen today.
No double transformation for them, so we have Sonya instead, but it could have gone for the Dragon Queen plus Odin, which is actually an NA special, so you can't really play that against
Ooh,
an All-American
Kel'Thas.
team. Yeah, I like it. I talked with Transparent earlier about mages and how some of the natural predators are now slowly gone. So as you progress through some of these series, you're going to get some very interesting picks, and Kel'Thas is definitely one of them. And ETC Kel'Thas, mega old school. Love it. Absolute fantastic. I love the power slide, the gravity lapse that comes behind it. And then you can just chunk the target down with Tychus, with Sonya. So yeah, damage in CC, awesome.
And his mosh pit, if you're able to get off a multiple, has just enough timing for the living bomb to actually connect if you're really there to follow it up as well. So you're right, it is an old school combo, and it's a fun one. Mephisto in May to round out the draft here for the United States.
That's a nano-boosted Pyroblast if I've ever seen one. Don't you think?
I missed what you said. What's that?
Nano-boosted Pyroblast right there. 100%. On our last pick.
Oh, sure. You know, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
That's fun. Let's do it.
It's not going to do anything.
It's rough against Urel, though, right? Like,
yeah.
you look at it and you're like, yeah, that sounds fun. And then you look at the opposing team and you're like,
It's like, yeah, maybe not.
do you get
that
to have
Junkrat needs
fun?
to be careful, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to jump the game. Again, game number 3, match point number 1 for the Americans. We are in the losers bracket. Whichever team loses here is out of the tournament, and the winner will play again tomorrow and go up against South Korea. So that's already going to be a highlight. But yeah, we had great games today. This might be the last map. Depends on what Poland is going to do now.
We'll see if they're able to pull it off. They do have, of course, Shrine Control. Like, if you look at their map, like this is actually like too cheesy. Like Khaldor is a little bit on the weird side, but they still play Infernal Shrines well. The living bombs are helpful for clearing out those shrines. And the same here for the United States. Like Junkrat in particular is going to be a pain in the rear, just throwing at those names consistently.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, maybe even Sonya. We've seen Sonya with Wrath of the Berserker mainly today, and especially on Infernal Shrines. But maybe we're going to get an aggressive move. Maybe we're going to get that leap eventually. But time will tell. On the left side, the United States with Cure on Junkrat. Liam on Urel. Unaverted is playing May. We got Legacy on Whitemane and Madara on Mephisto.
To the right, potentially their last map, but they would love to earn a W themselves. Lavko going to be playing Ana, Ritsu on Sonya, Itrax on Tychus, Arion on ETC, and Alvarez going to be showcasing our first Kel'Thas of the tournament.
I really like it. We've seen a couple of Kel'Thas games in the round robin and the previous phases of the tournament. And especially with ETC or any kind of stun tank, the follow-up that you have with your Gravity Lapse is solid. Spain has played this a lot, by the way, as well. Nano, sometimes also with that Pyroblast, has his own unique build also with the Sunfire Enchant. So it goes down a little bit of a different route, but I'm really enjoying a good Kel'Thas player that coordinates with the rest of the team so they can stack CC and get that damage going.
Speaking of coordination, ETC will be needing to grab those regen globes as he wants to make sure that mana addict gets filled up for Kel'Thas. It's one of the main goals you'll have on that mage. Liam comes in and showcases why he is such a menace on this character. Immediately knocks ETC in the back left, and Arian just trying to survive.
Yeah, quick hit, and well, that is a pretty beefy target. So down he goes, ETC gone, and that's first blood. United States coming out the gate swinging.
Yeah, made him a medium rare steak. He won't be here for a few more seconds. Sonya will rotate in from the top side to try and help out Tychus, who is taking some damage. But suddenly you lose your tank, and the rotation between the middle and the bottom lane gets that much harder. Poland suddenly has to play safer, and with that one play, United States takes momentum, and it's already very evident in terms of them jumping on top of the Merc camps.
Yeah, down at the bottom of the map, talking about Merc camps, they're going for the neutral one first. Easily done by them. And they should walk away with 2 in total, as Poland is not contesting that whatsoever, but instead is keeping themselves busy on the right side. And Liam actually invades it. They want to go for this one too. They're stealing everything away from them. They did it on map 2, and now they're doing it here as well. Attacking Arion just after they take them away. Well done, and whew, Poland is, losing on all fronts here. They lost 2 of the camps. The third one is going to be taken by the blue team too. There's 1 kill in favor of the United States. They take the lead in experience. This is a rough start in the game number 3, especially when you're behind 0-2.
I mean, we're 2 minutes in the game. We've already seen 2 impactful plays from Urel and Liam, right? Like, especially from the top, came in to help still at camp. Like, this is a reminder of why this character was banned out in a lot of our matches today.
Absolutely. So this is going to be rough. They got to step it up there a little bit. Standard pretty much also with the level 4 talents now coming in. We got the Master Assassin again for the extra attack speed on the passive, especially since it applies to Odin 2.
I have a question for you regarding Mephisto. I haven't seen too many Skull Missile builds. It's mostly been a lot of these variations of W builds or even like passive auto attack builds and whatnot. Yeah. Well, am I just missing these games?
Yeah, kind of. Like most of them are still Skull Missile, and this is honestly the first one that I personally had in quite some time where they didn't go for it. So the Mephisto games that I had today with, I believe it was Bar and Transparent, was most of the time pretty normal Skull Missile build.
Okay, I was gonna say, 'cause I feel like Skull Missile's pretty darn solid. A lot of those.
Yeah, it is. Like this seems to me more like my first thought was okay, and A has a bit of a different approach to it.
All right, well, Furious Spark picked up as well as Static Barrier for Matera. We do have the Shrines already being cleared up. A lead of 7-0 for the United States, but Poland is stepping up, and Liam actually takes some damage there. It goes down to about 10% of his HP.
A little bit of a spread going on there with the living bombs, but we have a pretty even score on the Shrine minions. Level 7 hasn't really dropped just yet, but the blue team should get it a little bit earlier. And Alvarez is doing a good job here. Alvarez is the entire time just applying some living bombs, trying to zone them off here. Gravity Lapse is a follow-up. Uninverted is low and has to retreat, but they have level 7 now. So that's a small window of opportunity where they just have the edge in regards to talents.
Yeah, some characters they talk about, you try to hold cooldown for an important moment. When it comes to Kel'Thas, drop that living bomb. Just keep using that free one as much as you can. Great job by Alvarez once again hitting unaverted. Liam holding that back right corner. It is close, 33-26.
Yeah, but the blue team takes it here. 38, they're taking control, and thanks to the talent lead in particular, they lock it in. So the Frozen Punisher in the mid lane, and that one's always an absolute beast, so you will get value from this one.
Yep, you can freeze that fort. You want to push with it too and try to get as close as you can. There it is. So now the fort will be taken off for a couple of seconds. Matera continuing the poke. Urel did lead off to the side and started all that soaking. Thanks to that beautiful talent there of Holy Avenger, will also be able to keep up with the aggression and jumping in as needed. Fort down to under half HP, and normally you don't see a fort killed off on the first Punisher. It gets bruised and damaged, but there's a chance here United States takes the fort, and they do it.
Yeah, Frozen Punishers is insanely powerful with
Yeah.
this, and they were able to grab it, so job well done. And it was a very, very strong first objective for them. They've been dominating this. I mean, they've been taking so many mercenary camps just at the start, stealing the one away from Poland, taking neutral one. They took all 3. The only camp that Poland has taken up to this point is actually their Shaman camp.
It's been very rare today, now that I think back, that we have had matches where there is a substantial lead moving to 10. It's usually been pretty close by like a minion wave or 2.
Yeah.
But United States in the last 2 matches have started to get darn near a full level on their opponents, just really showcasing what they can pull off when it comes to macro.
Kel'Thas now dealing with the bottom of the map, has to deal with those mercenary camps that we just highlighted. An Arian here in the middle. Yeah, he's finding himself in a bit of trouble. He's relying on his cooldown here, and Liam is just so annoying. A second ago, they were trying to chase him down and just dropped all their abilities on him, and he just dodged them out. It was crazy. Just like step right, step left, and nothing connected with him.
The human joystick. That's what we'll call him. Well,
Yeah.
the humanoid joystick because he's a goat person, as we were talking about.
Have a beard.
10 about to connect for the United States. And it's actually well before the Shrine, which gives Poland a chance here to soak up that 10 themselves. But of course, they'll have to be careful and make sure to get locked down. It will be, looks like Durance of Hate picked up for Mephisto. Oh my gosh, and he hits it on the side. Locks down Itrax. Itrax goes down half HP. Luckily, Lockkill was there to save him. But he gets hit by a tire.
Riptide as well. The one thing I always liked from US is like, I love Rocket Ride. It's just so silly, so I would love to see that. It's always fun. Not necessarily the best talent if you want to win the game, but still kind of interesting. Another slide, another steal. I mean, damn, every time they just take this one. Ice Wall is out. We get leap, by the way, and there it is. Whoa! That was a frog or something? Like, I don't know. It's like, wait till they're here for 13 or 14 hours, but yeah, either way. So they are getting aggressive on this. They got the CC.
Yeah, and they get a good trade in cooldowns. If you look at Yrel versus Sonya, Yrel had to pop that bubble. It's 105 seconds left, and Sonya's will be up in 40 seconds as well as Anna's.
I'm just disappointed. I was looking for that nano-boosted Pyroblast. I was all in on that one. This is, come on, boys.
Next time.
Yeah.
We'll talk to somebody. We'll get it done.
Well, camp at the top left now, about to be claimed. Only a single kill. We are 7 minutes in.
Which is good. Poland cleaned
Yeah.
up from the last match, right? Especially on Infernal Shrines.
I mean, pretty tame, yeah. Trying to make sure that they're not falling too far behind, that there's not really any problems happening. We still got the 2-0 lead for the United States. You got to be careful here. If you just run it down right at the beginning of the match, then this is over very quickly. So they have to play for the Shrine. They have to play it slow. They have to play it cool, calm, and collected, and make sure that once we are fighting for Shrine number 2, that they're really using Odin here as well, get their cooldowns back up, drop a good lead from Sonya, and get that kill.
Madara went for another Durance of Hate, just barely whiffs out on it, as Uninverted was trying to focus all their attention on the top right with the ice block.
That's a good start for Poland.
Yeah. Dodging out on Heroic. 3 are now down for the United States. Yrel still suffering from that shield earlier. Ritsu on the bottom right with that leap up and available. And this will be the first time that Poland will be close to the talents. As remember the last one, the United States was able to get a 7-6 advantage and took it away.
Yeah, they can't lose this one. This one, they have to really give it their all. There's the ice wall being dropped onto Kalthas as the nano boost was used by Anna. So Alvaros, still with a little bit of zoning here, can apply very little, so doesn't get a whole lot of use out of Anna's ult. But they have taken the lead pretty significantly on the minions, getting a few more here on the Shrine as they're pulling ahead. And it is tough for the blue team to make a move here, especially with Tychus going for Odin.
The United States does have their cooldowns back, though, aside from Riptire and then the Ice Wall from Mei. And they decided, you know what, we'll go ahead and get this up and play for defense. Yrel already running to the middle of the map, clearing it out and moving towards 13. 16 also is where she gets even stronger thanks to her talents that she'll be picking up. So US just hoping to wait for that power spike and play it safe.
Yeah, with level 13 talents now, they're already making a move for ETC, so they gotta be careful. They can threaten the mosh pit a little bit, but it just gets bounced around by Junkrat. As with the Punisher, they're now pushing through the top. Side laners have moved down towards the bottom of the map. Sonya gonna deal with Yrel as best as she can. There's another Riptire trying to clear the minion wave and also damage the heroes a little bit. Madara, again, full alive here with his Mephisto. And that's another big ice wall from Mei. They're really doing everything to save that fort. It's just not gonna happen.
Uninverted's kind of nailing these. That's 2 now, where he's hit the perfect ice wall. The last one is up the Nanoboost target there for 3. If he can keep this up, I surely see them getting an engagement they would like to have later on, especially with Yrel rotating in. But Poland keeps themselves close in this experience. It's probably the closest game we've had so far in the series between the two.
Yeah, they're doing very well here. They have half a level of a disadvantage in experience, but they've now taken a fort down, so it's even structures for the two teams. And a very big opportunity for them to maybe finally also take some mercenary camps. There we go. It's actually impressive how close they are given how many camps were stolen away from them. So there's a huge advantage for the United States right now in mercenary XP alone already.
And luckily for the US, the next Shrine will be spawning on the bottom side. And remember, they took that fort earlier, so they can grab this, they can start playing for the keep. That's where they can open the map. That's where they can do some real damage. Poland themselves will have to make sure they're on top of this macro, because they do not want to allow this one to go.
I mean, thankfully for Poland, they still have the fountain and the fort up in the middle, so they can retreat to that. But it's definitely going to make things a little bit more difficult for them, especially if the blue team picks the objective up. But look how quickly ETC gets focused here again. I mean, everything on him. Aaron is trying to get away, and he does a fantastic job, but that leap just comes in too late to save the day for the cow. So ETC is gone. Lavacar is trying to run. Yeah.
That's a grandma. The ankles aren't there anymore. Poor Love gets picked up, just can't sprint away.
Yeah, Anna is a little bit on the slow side, so she has no chance to escape there either, which is in total another 2 kills for the United States. So now they're pulling ahead with 3 kills to 0, half a level to 16, and very quickly things are looking more grim for the Polish team.
Yeah, ETC having a hard time with Junkrat in particular, and he's hard to get on top of, right? He can just play on that backside, and Kira is playing him well when it comes to spacing.
I mean, they really got to rally here if they want to bring this back. They need to go to level 16. This all happened with the objective not even being announced, so that lead in talents is going to be big for them. Especially if they can now also take down the fort in the middle. I just talked a second ago about how at least they have that fort in the fountain, but if this disappears as well, there's nothing you can do to get an advantage on the next objective.
It does look like Poland's starting to understand the strategy, though, the United States is trying to implore. They have Unaverted usually play the north side of a team fight, and then Madara, who's sneaking on the bottom, comes in for endurance and locks down a target. So they started spacing better for that. But, as you mentioned, with that talent lead being too strong for the United States, they just have to give away another camp. What is that, 3 camps stolen here by the United States?
Yeah, I think so, at least. It's crazy. Not even speaking about the neutral camp at the bottom that they reliably got to.
They do enjoy painting their map blue. And finally, a shrine will activate. 20 seconds will spawn to the first south, and they will have a minute advantage because they stole away the Merc camp to the top right, and they're going to have one pushing on the top side, who Urel can bolster out if she wants to.
Yeah, at least we have 16 for Poland. So it's going to be an even talent fight from their perspective. This is probably the best thing they could hope for here. They also still have the fountain in the middle, given how the game has developed over the last 2 minutes. That's still pretty solid. Oh, and there's the commitment. Nicely done, but not enough. Good thought, though. But yeah, the execution.
Oh my gosh, that retire.
It's a
wow.
Look at Mephisto's damage. Oh my god. Madara comes in, takes down Khaldor, and that is disastrous for Poland. The objective just spawned. Here comes the ice wall. Sonya is already dead. They try and move for Tigers now. Liam gets the kill together with Junkrat, and down here ETC is not looking good. That's 4 heroes down, maybe only 3. Yep, Anna saves the day for ETC.
But Kira was able to get the fort in the middle, and that is now a second layer of defense taken away, and now they get the real prize, the shrine. I have not normally seen Mephisto be the kill secure unless he has consumed souls, and there he was able to find 2 with 1 ring.
Yeah, and up at the top, another fort is also getting damaged because Liam was, with Urel, able to push the entire mercenary wave with minions straight into the fort, and they're actually losing the entire thing there, as it seems.
Wowzer.
So that's another fort gone, all of them destroyed, no more fountains in the middle that are easily accessible, whereas the United States still hold on to 2 of them, and with the push at the bottom of the map and the camp that they're also getting at the same time, we now have a very aggressive move for the first keep of the game.
Okay, well, let's take a breath. There is some good news. There is a wall here. It's a low wall, but okay. You know what? There used to be a wall here. Another wall does come up, though. It's going to be on ETC. Able to drop down an ability and get off that armor. Lovekill trying his best here to keep him alive. Riptire hits in the back line. Liam in a position to jump in. Ooh, gets hit with a Gravity Lap, so shield comes out the last second and will keep him alive, but that burst did get terrifying.
Yeah, and they got zoned so hard here. That keeps Sense no chance. Punisher wants a piece of the action as he jumps in deep for Alvaro, zoning all of them. They baited over, but that also exposes the bottom keep to the attack of the blue team, and it is destroyed. Keep gone. They retreat for now. They're so close to level 20. They can play this a little bit slower, working on the structures in the middle, taking another gate down. They're looking so strong here. I mean, seriously, not a single kill for Poland thus far in this game.
And I'm kind of curious to see what level 20 we're going to get, as 20 will about to kick in. Says, oh my gosh, turns over the wall. There goes the damage. Alvarez will get healed up by Lovekill. Aryan actually gets tossed in thanks to Junkrat, and now ETC is out on an island, and he has nowhere to go. There's no water. There's no one to save him. Urel's peeling out the entire team of 4. Living Bomb connects on Madara, but here's an Ice Wall once again.
Ana down. Ana dead. Big, big damage. And the counter kills. Finally, 2 points on the scoreboard for Poland as they take down Whitemane and Mephisto. Well done.
Riptire coming in and help maybe try and secure a kill, but Liam finally taking a bit of a beating. Jumps out at the last second. There goes a Flame Strike from Kelsoth for good measure. But finally, this push looks to be done. I don't know if I can quite say that confidently. As Kieran staying here on the bottom right. The 20 pickup is going to be that cannonball, and had all 5 members stayed up, the United States could use that 20 advantage to keep sieging that middle keep, or even start looking at the core. But with 2 members down, they decide to back up, play it safe, don't throw the game, and set up to try to end this game 3-0.
Yeah, a couple of camps now about to be taken. I mean, there's not really a whole lot that they can do with 2 heroes missing, but as long as you get some of the mercenary camps, you can apply pressure that the opponent will have to react to. Spend some time there, deep pushing them. 2 stacks for the Master Assassin. Not really a talent you want to complete, of course, all about the passive that you get there. Even though we have seen a couple of Tiger's players that actually were able to complete it. Doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, it's kind of fun and cool. At level 20, soon for Poland. Now, of course, they lost a lot. Bottom keep is gone. They took damage in the middle. But with level 20, they have a chance in these team fights. I mean, that's what it comes down to in the late game. It's all a question of how many structures you were able to destroy. Because once level 20 hits, every single fight from there on out is going to play out on even talents.
What's going to be rough is a weird tug of war of trying to balance your bottom lane that has catapult pressure and deal with the top lane on that shrine with no wells being available. And Poland's going to have to set up and prepare for that task, because that is surely coming, with Liam being the one that'll be probably pushing out that bottom lane, and neutral camp available for the taking as well, and they might just grab that. Yeah, you see Junkrat and crew running to the right side, and I would bet my socks that they go to the bottom side too to get that pressure. I am wearing them, and they match. Trust.
Yeah, I was just curious.
All right, I won the bet. What do I get?
What do you mean you won the bet? I didn't even agree to anything.
You looked though.
You want my socks?
Yeah, actually, yeah. you got nice socks. You get high quality socks. I don't know where you get them from, but
Okay, that's just very disturbing.
we've casted a lot of hours together. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it is what it is.
It is.
Quick shrine to the north, and it's going to be an arcane Punisher.
Look at the minimap though.
Yeah, it's all
Camps
blue.
on every single lane, and the middle keep is already taking damage. So for Poland, this is literally just like Hail Mary.
boost.
And look how they're going for the back here. There is just no chance. The angle of attack is perfect. White Mane is dead though, so is Anna, but they're still trying to make that play on Kelthas. He stands no chance, as we had a beautiful setup by Mei and then Mephisto with the kill. In the meantime, the bot lane is pushing for core. The mid lane is about to take down the keep. This is just crazy. What a nice macro setup for the United States.
And from here, United States, they don't have to get the kills, just want to keep them here. As you mentioned, that bottom lane's pushing in. It is now starting to hit that core, so the shields will start to burn. The keep even getting picked up by Madara. Another catapult to join in. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4 camps and 3 sheep goats. As they go straight for the core, there goes the shield, and it begins to drop. Irak's finally starting to back, but Madara keeping up the wave clear, and they're trying to end the game.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Seems like we're going to go for the 3-0. The defenders are finally appearing, but it might be a little bit too late, and indeed it is. This is lights out for Poland. The USA moves on to the next round of the tournament, proceeds through the losers bracket, which means that tomorrow we're going to see the US team go up against Korea.
Yeah, and South Korea, a team that has been, I would say, a little bit all over the place. At one game, they looked fantastic. Another game, they seem a little bit tired out. So I want to see what they look like after a night's rest as they prepare for tomorrow. And the U.S. here, as they have just been showcasing, has been ramping up after their first couple of losses today earlier. So we have teams right now hitting their peaks, and that's when it gets really exciting.
Absolutely. So once again, also Poland, they didn't make it. They're out of the tournament right now. Unfortunate, they put up a great fight, but the US was a little bit stronger here. Tomorrow it's going to be fantastic to see not only the winner bracket final that we have between Germany and Sweden, but of course now here in the losers bracket, we got the US against Korea. It's going to be absolutely amazing. More games coming your way on Sunday. We're starting once again at 11 a.m. CEST, so 11 a.m. Berlin time. We're done for the day. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in. It was awesome. We've been here for a long time, so we're going to head out so that we can bring you all the action tomorrow morning. Have a good one, guys, and see you on Sunday.
Thanks for watching.